Hi, everybody. Welcome to this call. Yeah, so we're here at the Poll Worker Power Hour. So we're really just trying to introduce everyone to Poll Worker Recruitment Day. So it's really exciting that you're all here. Um, yeah, I'm Madeline. I'm a supervising fellow for the Work Elections Project, where we're just pretty much trying to recruit poll workers on college campuses. I'll let Hillary introduce herself.
Yeah, hi everyone. Happy Poll Worker Recruitment Day. I'm Hillary Poudeau Tchokothe, and I am a supervising fellow from the state of Michigan. And I just wanted to say a special thanks to our other supervising fellows, Lindsay from Arizona, Max from Pennsylvania, Vanessa from Wisconsin, and the Work Elections Project intern, Isabella from the University of Maryland, for helping plan this event.
Yeah, we also have a very special guest here today. We have Susan Kelechi Watson here, who is an actress. Really amazing that she's here. She's best known for her show This Is Us, and she's also a graduate of New York University and Howard University. And like it says, is the proud daughter of Jamaican parents. So really happy that you're here today, and I'll let you say a few words.
Hey, everybody. I'm super excited to be here with y'all today, mostly because I feel very charged up about this election season. And I just want to thank y'all for all the work that you're doing. Like, you guys are the crew that is already saying, like, we're about this life. We're going to do this work. We're going to go to the polls. We're going to help our communities vote. And not only that, you're going to reach out and ask your fellow students to do the same. And it is so imperative because the better that the polls run, the more accurate we can be with the vote. The people who want to vote are able to do it because you guys are there. You guys are there and you're diverse. You know various languages. You can speak to your community in their own voice. You know the technology. We're in the tech age and there are people who may need help with that. And you can help facilitate that with the current poll workers and the people who are coming to the polls that would like to participate and exercise their right of power as a democracy. So you guys, like, we're the boots on the ground that are making this democracy run, and that is no small thing. So I want you to big yourself up for that and know that what you're doing is so very important into making this thing happen and making it happen in the most accurate and fair way that we can to continue the democracy that this country is principled in and founded in. So I just want to thank you, and I just want to encourage you. What you're doing is the real work, and congratulate you in advance for all the people that you're going to get on board to join you in the mission. And I want to say in advance how successful you're going to be, because I just know that you are. I know how motivated I was when I was at Howard, and I know when we said we're going to get things done, we're about that life. We get things done. And so I just want to say thank you to you all. Thank you to the panel for inviting me here today. It's really a pleasure and honor to be here with you. Glad to get a chance to talk to you at the very beginning of this. And a big, big happy Poll Workers Day to you all.
Thank you for all your kind words. So we can get on with the presentation, kind of explain what is the Fair Election Center and what is the Work Election Fellowship. So the Fair Election Center is a nonpartisan organization dedicated to safeguarding the future of democracy through innovative efforts focused on voting rights and civic engagement. And this particular fellowship is a project resource by the Fair Election Center that aims to help college students recruit other students on their campuses to become poll workers. This particular fellowship is running in 5 different states: Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Wisconsin this fall.
Yeah, so just to like kind of talk a little bit about why it is so important that we're doing this project and that we're out here like talking about poll working and trying to recruit poll workers specifically on college campuses is that like these like poll workers are the people like we're the people that are like actually making sure that the election runs and that it runs smoothly. Um and like Susan was saying, like making sure that like it runs like smoothly and like in the most accurate way possible. Like if we're not here like making sure the election happens, then it won't. Um it takes like 1 million poll workers across the United States to make sure that election day runs smoothly. So we really need to be like out here on the ground, like recruiting people. Um yeah, making sure that there are people here to run the election. So like a little bit of facts about why we're about poll workers is that 58% of poll workers are over the age of 60, which is kind of why we're focusing specifically on recruiting poll workers on college campuses to make sure that we kind of have this like new younger generation of poll workers to make sure that we have enough people for this election, but then also for the many, many elections that are going to be happening down the line. And also, I think in the past, 54% of jurisdictions have had a difficult or very difficult time recruiting poll workers. So we're here to try to kind of help everyone with that, and make sure that we're like recruiting poll workers, especially in those swing states. If you notice the five states that this project is running in our swing states, because that's kind of where a lot of the times, like it's most important for people to make sure that like the polls and elections are running smoothly.
So why should you get people on your campus to sign up to become poll workers? So one is accessibility. For communities of color and individuals with disability, they need more poll workers. We need more poll workers to make sure that we can help out people with accessibility concerns or issues. Language assistance. It's important that there's a cohort of poll workers that possibly have speak multiple languages so they can help every kind of voter that they interact with. Prevent poll closures. When there's a lack of poll workers, the polling places have to close sometimes because they cannot meet the demand of the population around them. Decrease wait times. Wait times is a really big reason why some people might, get in line in their polling place to vote, but end up leaving because the wait times are, can be 2 to 4 hours, and that's inaccessible for a lot of people, whether it be their work schedule or if they have accessibility concerns, etc. And you need to ensure that everyone has a chance to cast their ballot. And that's why, the more poll workers we have at different polling locations, you can ensure that like everyone's going to be helped in a timely manner. Another reason to sign up is, democratic values. We need to ensure that there are, safe, fair, and free elections for every voter for every single election, whether that be federal, state, and local elections. Secure and efficient poll experience, making sure integrating young people into the poll work experience now ensures that we will have a robust set of, poll workers for elections, from this upcoming election to elections and, for the next like 10, 20, 30 years. This is a nonpartisan activity. Anyone can do it. And you're really able to help your community in this nonpartisan fashion. And it's important to have like electoral participation within your community to show that your community believes in civic engagement and is willing to invest invest in young people to continue civic engagement, for years and years to come. Poll working is a really great way to build community, by helping your neighbors vote, by helping people in your community vote. That really builds a strong community. Also, it's important to engage in the democratic process. The democratic process affects everyone, so we all need to do our little part to further along. And, it helps give a sense of purpose within your community. What does your community care about? Helping others, stuff like that. And also students can get like professional development from this. So really gaining hands-on experience and seeing how elections work. A lot of transferable skills, helping people, that's a transferable skill. Being able to work with different people with different needs, a very useful skill to have. This could also be something you put on your resume, and oftentimes in your locality, poll working can be a paid experience, and it's pretty lucrative.
Yeah. So now, like, if we're like doing all this, how do you actually become a poll worker? So I think that Jill said she was going to drop I'll power the polls link in the chat. Um, and yeah, so after you sign up at Power the Polls, they're going to direct you to your like local jurisdiction's application, which you also definitely need to fill out the like actual application with your local jurisdiction. Power the Polls is going to share your information that you put on their sign up with your local election administrators, but they'll also want your official application in a lot of cases. In a few states, you might get a message from them that a local person is going to reach out. In those areas, they might not have online applications, so someone is probably going to call you to walk you through the process. So it's very important to make sure that you're kind of going through all of these other like steps with application and things like that, because signing up at Power the Polls, although it's very cool and helpful, is not the last step to getting registered as a poll worker. You also need to make sure you're being patient. You're not going to hear back from your election administrator right away. In a lot of cases, it might be a few weeks. It's also helpful to check with your local administrator just to like make sure that they're like getting all your information. In some places, they might let you know that they're set and don't need any more workers. But in those cases, you can also ask to be on a wait list and still see if they take training. So you could potentially help out somewhere else. Many elections since the pandemic have only seen shortages of poll workers in the days leading up to the election. So it's important that you're like ready to step in, especially if someone like realizes they can't do it just like a day or two before the election. You'll be ready and trained to step in for them. Which brings me to my next point, that you need to get trained. It is required. And yeah, in most places you need to complete the training in order to be placed on election day. It's also just really important to know like what you're doing and like what's going on. I've worked kind of not as a poll worker, but like at the latter end of like the election process, where like we take all of the paperwork and put it in the right folders and things like that. And it is so incredibly helpful if you as a poll worker have put your paperwork in the correct folders and like are sorted out and like know what's going on there. It makes our job a lot easier, and it makes the process like a lot, yeah, like a lot smoother and a lot cleaner, and just, yeah, definitely get trained. Then yeah, you gotta do it. It's gonna be hard. Poll working is hard. It's a lot of work. You're gonna have to wake up early. It's gonna be a really long day. But you're really needed. Yeah, we can't make it almost to the finish line and then let your neighbors down. So you gotta make sure that you're like getting out there and like on the day of and making sure um that like you're there for however long that you're needed. And it's gonna be long and it's gonna be hard, but it's really, really important work.
So you've been talking a lot about, why you should become a poll worker and how to become a poll worker, but like, what do you actually do as a poll worker? So essentially there's kind of a couple main things you do as a poll worker. Number one is like overall just assisting your chief election officer, like in your locality, on like what they might need. You're also greeting and checking in voters, making sure they have, they're updated at they're registered at their most current address, stuff like that. You're gonna register voters if they need to, and if your state has same-day registration. You're also going to count absentee ballots. Vote by mail is a really popular option, so that there's, people vote absentee a lot, no matter what the election is, you're going to answer questions, provide information. Elections can be a confusing process, and poll workers are there to help the voters and answer any questions that they might have, but also provide them more context, tell them, yeah. And then other tasks as assigned, elections can be a really busy process. If your state has, early voting, for example, there's so many different ways to vote. So the election officer that you work under, might have different tasks for you to do, but all of it's going to be very helpful in the grand scheme of things when, your locality has, successfully had a, smooth and, great election. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just have a little quote here from Martha Hanson at Power the Polls, which is, instead of spending the next several months worrying, there's a crucial step that many of us can and should take to support our elections: signing up to be a poll worker. It's just really a reminder that instead of like freaking out about the election, and because there's a lot of stuff happening, it's overwhelming, but you can take tangible steps to like help everything go better on election day. And one of those things is signing up to be a poll worker.
With all that being said, there's a little raffle. Okay. So we will have two winners of the raffle. Each winner will receive a Visa gift card and then a thermal CVP Canvas Vote Project stainless cup. And then everyone who kind of signed up for the call will be on the spinning wheel, And yeah, we can receive the first winner. Okay, congrats, Sam. You're the first winner. And spin for the second winner, please. Okay, and congratulations, Miranda. Congratulations, Sam and Miranda. Our winners will receive a email from our work elections coordinator, Jill Olson, to connect you on your mailing address to get you your 2 prizes. So congrats, you guys.
Yeah, so now we gotta go help our community vote. Now's the time to get involved and ask your friends and family to also get involved. Yeah, you can always just like kind of like go like through your relationships, like go talk to people about this, go get other people involved. You can complete the Power of the Polls interest sign up today to get more information about poll working in your community. So yeah, I think that might also be the same link that Jill sent in the chat. Um, yeah, or the QR code. Yeah, so you can take the rest of this hour, after we hop off the call, to reach out to 10 connections and try to get them to get involved. Or I think, yeah, same link that Jill just sent again in the chat. So thank you, Jill. Yeah, so you can take the rest of the hour to reach out to people, try to get 10 people to get involved and become poll workers as well. If you're part of the Work Elections Fellowship, make sure that you're using your personalized link from the list that you got in your introduction email, because that's how we're tracking who we're getting to how many signups that you are personally getting to become poll workers. Yeah, and then also if you have any friends or know any students in Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, or Wisconsin that would like to get involved in the Work Elections Fellowship in the fall. Oh, yes, that's the QR code for the position description. Be sure to share that with your friends on campuses in your state. And yeah, we're still looking for Work Elections Fellows in a lot of these states. So yeah, ask them to fill it out, and they too can become Work Elections Fellows and help recruit more poll workers.
So yeah, like, will you join us? Get started today using the QR code or any of the links in the chat. Power of the Polls is a great resource to help you get involved. So yeah, please just scan the QR code, follow the link in the chat, and check out their page today.